Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Lucid Live, and today we're going to be talking about the recent Minecraft Live, and specifically the Happy Ghast, because I have thoughts. I have lots of thoughts. Recently, I made a tweet where I basically gave my immediate, first reaction to seeing this. I was in a call with a bunch of other people, and I really wish I had recorded, the audible groan that we all had when we saw this. Because, I was not happy. When I made this tweet, people weren't happy at me. There are a lot of tweets about how my take was bad or I'm being too negative and all this, and I wanted to clarify because I feel like a lot of people didn't really understand what the purpose of this tweet was, which I'll take responsibility for in some capacity, because this was very much like a spur of the moment reactionary, man, this sucks, I hate this kind of thing. And now that I've gotten a lot of time to think about it, I do have a little bit more of a nuanced perspective on it. But I wanted to clarify kind of what my position was. Obviously, if you like this addition to Minecraft, that's cool. You don't have to listen to me. I'm not even gonna pull the whole objective criticism thing, because who knows? We haven't seen it. We haven't really played it in the game. These are initial thoughts that I have, because I think that there are problems with this. But perhaps when it's actually out, these problems won't exist, or maybe they won't be problems at all. So yeah, that's what this video is. Starting off, I wanted to talk about the things I actually really like about this edition, because obviously that wasn't communicated. And there are some things I like. I like the design of the dried ghast. I know a lot of people were taking issue with the fact that you just mine the ghast like a block, but I actually kind of enjoy that, because as will become clear, I actually really like the more abstract, kind of out there pieces of Minecraft. That's kind of what has always drawn me to the game. I also really like the design of the ghastling as well. I like they gave it little ribs. That's a nice little addition. I also enjoy the functionality that it has. I will get into it. I don't really like that they used this mechanic for this function, but I do like the idea of having a floating platform that one can access in order to assist with building and everything else that you might use a floating platform for. So I really enjoyed that. All of that's good. Those are the things I enjoyed about this edition. Things that I did not enjoy, pretty much everything else. Let's start with the specific thing I was critiquing with the tweet. A lot of people seem to misunderstand what I said, and once again, I take ownership of that because I didn't convey it very well. My criticism with the Happy Ghast, conceptually, is that it takes away from the potential intimidation that the Ghast once held as an enemy in the Nether. Especially upon release, but even today, Ghasts were always a constant threat in the Nether. They were one of the few enemies, when they were released at least, that was able to break your blocks. And given that the Nether is a very vertical location, if you wanted to mine nether quartz or get to a fortress or what have you, they were always a constant threat. And this doesn't necessarily take away from that functionality that they have. However, that functionality lended itself to them being intimidating, especially when combined with the noises that they made and the objects that they dropped, the ghast tier. It alludes to the idea that they're like tortured souls in, the dimension that's very obviously the underworld. And I thought that was really cool. From like a mythos perspective, I really enjoyed that. So when they revealed this, and you see the ghast, formerly a very off-putting, abstract, intimidating creature, and you see it, and now it's got these very goofy, overly high-definition textured goggles on it, and it's smirking, and it's flying everywhere. Man, it just really rubs me the wrong way. Whenever you see the Ghast in the Nether now, you're gonna be thinking about the fucking Happy Ghast. That will always be in the back of your mind, like, oh, this creature can be like this, and like that's... To me, that takes away a lot of the fear that could be potentially brought on by the Ghast as an intimidating force. And if a lot of people were like, the Nether was never scary. If you're scared by the Nether, you're lame or whatever. And like, for sure, it doesn't obviously really scare me now. It does have a certain atmosphere that I feel like gets progressively worse with every update. I'm not a huge fan of the modern Nether kind of being turned from hell into this like mystical forest land. It definitely needed an upgrade, but I dislike the aesthetic direction they took the dimension in, and this just is more of that. If you like it, fine, but that is my main criticism. And it's not surprising. This is the direction Minecraft has been going in for the past decade or so. It just feels like with every update, I check back to see if they've added a basic quality of life function or something. I like the cartography upgrades. They also revealed those, the cartography balancing stuff that they added in this update. That was cool. The mob variants, the locator bar, both of those things, that was cool. Once again, I like the idea of the functionality. I just hate that they decided to use this mob in order to implement that functionality into the game. From my perspective, they took a mob that was really interesting and abstract, and they made it into a joke or into something that's not at all special, really, anymore. Which is fine, you know, it's their prerogative, but from my perspective, it's just really disappointing. Also, another YouTuber, I wish I could remember their name, but they mentioned, like, why does the Ghast need goggles? Like, why would it need those? And I know that's, like, entirely a nitpick, but it also, like, is a good point, because, like, why do the hellish creatures need goggles, man? Like you could have given it a harness without adding the stupid man, also the design of it is just, people who say it looks like a mod are entirely on point. It does not look right, but also interesting to draw the line here when I feel like a bunch of recent additions to the game have been very mod-esque in their addition and haven't really fit the art style. The game as a whole has just gotten progressively less abstract's the only word that's coming to mind because it's just the best word to use. Like, I know I don't mean to bang the beta is better drum every time I talk about Minecraft, but like, the old terrain generation was so much better. It was just infinitely better for everything that Minecraft is. It fostered a sense of creativity and wonder that the modern terrain generation just doesn't. And you know why? Because the modern terrain generation is super realistic. They're trying to make it like real hills and like a more realistic topography based off of actual Earth. And that's fine, but that leads to a lot of flat ground and not much in the way of cool, out there, outlandish buildings. So yeah, this Ghast edition kind of reflects that further for me. It's just like, because it's like out there, it's an out there idea to give the Ghast it goggles and make it and tame it into being happy, but it's out there in a way that isn't like remotely creative. Like, you just slapped a harness onto an existing mob, so now it's writable, I guess. And to me, that's just, like, not fun or creative, ironically enough. Also, for the record, I do like the dehydration. The idea that it's dehydrated and you have to give it water, that's a cool way to integrate it with the world. Although, a friend of mine, Angel, while we were watching, brought up that, like, if the Ghast needs water to live, if they need water to survive, do they all eventually dry up? Or is this just something that only certain Ghasts who, like, can't survive without water, is this what, this just their fate? Once again, that's like a major nitpick, but it was something he brought up that I thought it was fairly interesting. But yeah, the other complaint I really have, the progression issue with this might be bothersome. We will see. This is something that is very subject to change based off of how it's implemented in the game. I get the distinct impression that people will be less inclined to finish the game because they have access to flight so early. And I know that Elytra flight is better for traveling, but isn't as good for creation, and the Ghast flight is better for creation, but isn't as good for, you know, other things. But the elytra used to be the only way that you could fly, and I don't like the elytra. I think it's a bad thing. A lot of people seem to think this will make that problem better, whereas I am of the opinion it will probably make it worse. Once again, this is more of a concern than an actual criticism, because I don't know how this will affect gameplay, because I can only speculate based off of what has been shown. There's also rumors that you will be able to craft the dried ghast. I will hate that. That will almost undoubtedly be a massive issue. It's much less interesting than what they have proposed, which is that you have to find the specific biome where the ghast dry up. That sounds way better, and I don't know why you would make it into. Why can you craft like a creature? Like, why is that a thing? Like, we've never been able to craft spawn eggs, or regular eggs for that matter. Like, why can we craft this this creature? You know, I really hope that does not make it into the game. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed. There will be a video coming out from me on the main channel, hopefully Wednesday. Fingers crossed. Like Friday at the latest, but hopefully Wednesday. So yeah, look forward to that. Thank you all for listening. Let me know what you think about the Happy Ghast. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you mixed on it? I'd love to hear your thoughts, believe it or not. So, thank you all for watching, and stay lucid. Bye-bye.